You hear my air conditioner too much?
No, I
Okay.
don't hear it at all.
How are you, by the way? Are you doing okay?
Yeah. Yep. I'm glorious. How are you?
The same, you know. I'm always the same.
It seems so quiet. Why is it so quiet? Hey!
Hi,
Hey.
Optimisty. Sorry we're a little late, you know, girls.
My work went a little over and then I had to put my facial on so I
You know
could
what?
be
I can hear my
somewhat
own air conditioner, and
presentable.
I'm just gonna turn it off. I'm gonna turn it off.
Ah! Why was that unmuted? Okay. I got all the chats pulled up. I think.
My horns, for some reason. We have the set. We have Optimisty and Pessimisty. I don't have my horns because I couldn't get them to work properly. I'll figure it out eventually. Maybe it's because maybe I need a halo. Maybe that's the problem. I've earned it
You're an
somehow.
angel.
I never do anything wrong. I wish.
Hi everybody. I miss doing this. I can't wait for Crystal to get back. I'm so excited. Ready for some regular episode filming.
And I love doing this too. You know, I miss our trio dynamic, and
Mhm.
when Crystal's able to come back, we might just do some trivia, whatever. We'll see. We'll surprise
Yeah,
you
we'll
when you
surprise
least
you.
expect it.
So what movies have you been catching up on in this little bit of downtime? Because I feel like I've just been watching a lot of classics, like comfort films. What about
I've
you?
been watching some new stuff on Criterion, new to me, like the Battle of Algiers, um, Lola, different things. What about you? What specifics have you been watching, my dear?
Um, well, I had this like craving to watch Vertical Limit because it was on Netflix the other day or this
Mhm.
last month. So I had to watch that, and then I went down like this spiral of early 2000 films.
I don't think I've ever seen Vertical Limit.
it's it's I don't know how to explain it. It's one of those films that I
Is it like
remember really, really
Cliffhanger?
loving. No, it's a little bit more. It's very early 2000s cliffhanger-esque. So it's got that early 2000s like over the top like I mean, let's make this even more difficult. We'll add liquid nitrous on them.
Whatever
Like
that means.
like let's add some explosive chemical that they have to carry up there also that can explode. Very, very like reactive chemical. Like
Sounds
just
awesome.
adding like weird shit like that, like Armageddon teaching oil riggers how to be astronauts instead of astronauts how to drill.
That
That
sounds like
kind
a
of
good idea to
stuff.
me. I was excited when you mentioned in our creator chat Discord that we should do an Arnold Schwarzenegger episode at some point.
I feel like that'd be so fun because, yeah,
It
like I
would.
said, I went down like this early 2000s rabbit hole of films that I was like, oh, I haven't seen this in a while. Because, they just recommend more films like this. Whenever you watch a movie, all the other options that are similar pop up. And I just kept clicking on them. I went down literal rabbit hole. And so, of course, I watched End of Days as well, which
I don't
immediately
know
made
if
me
I've
think,
seen that one.
man, I love how corny Arnold Schwarzenegger is. And like I have such a good time watching that movie. It's so ridiculous, but like Arnold Schwarzenegger is so classically Arnold Schwarzenegger and what is kind of a heavy-ish plot that's very serious. So it just feels, I don't know, it just feels really like fun. Arnold Schwarzenegger makes anything fun. So
He does, and I like him in movies. And
yeah,
Total Recall is very
yeah,
gory. The original with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a
yeah,
great movie. I really like it. And although
yeah.
and if you grew up in the 80s into 90s, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger like was such a big part of your childhood because he was a big part of these.
He's the last action hero.
He's the last action hero. But then he was in a lot of comedies. He was in Junior, and I Love Twin with Danny DeVito. Um, you just,
Mhm.
well, I think, okay, Justine. First
Mhm.
question, which is from me at this moment. What is your favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger line? And in the chat, tell us your favorite Arnold
Favorite Arnold
Schwarzenegger
Schwarzenegger line?
one
Oh,
line
man.
or quote. I have one. I know mine immediately. Want to know mine?
Yes, go.
Put the cookie down from Jingle All the Way.
Yes. I don't know.
And
I
Phil Hartman
cannot.
going, these cookies.
I feel like
Oh,
End of Days had a lot of them because he had a lot of really awesome, like, Arnold one-liners, but, going back to, like, Commando and Terminator,
I
I
like
feel
you,
like
Shelley.
any
That's why I kill you
Terminator.
last.
Yeah. I feel like any Terminator line or Commando or Predator line are like the perfect lines. Like I can't even think of one. Like it's just, the classics. Get to the chopper.
The bridge is
The bridge is
out.
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 Yeah, and I'll be back. And those are just all very classic. I mean, I think
One
everybody
ugly
learned.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I think everybody learned an Austrian accent because of Arnold Schwarzenegger's one-liners. Like he taught us all how to do an Arnold accent just through one-liners.
You know what's interesting? As a fan of the last podcast on the left, they recently actually had a fun little conversation where it's three men, right? And one
Mhm.
man, Ben, if you know the podcast, um, he was saying, well, Arnold Schwarzenegger's like the ideal man. Everyone wants to be him or be with him. And the other two are like, no, no one. Can you picture kissing Arnold Schwarzenegger? He's not attractive. He's like, no. And then so listeners are writing emails in, and most women agree that he is not attractive. He's fun in movies, but I'm not attracted to Arnold. He's too block. He's
Mm,
like a block, and he's also
yeah.
Republican in a way that. But just thinking of him as an actor and his characters, and I like
Yeah.
he's fun, but just like
He's very entertaining, and I feel like he'd be a very entertaining personality and very
I like smoking
charismatic
cigars.
in a room and stuff, but, like, I don't foresee me having anything to connect with Arnold Schwarzenegger besides to talk about the movies and get him to repeat a bunch of one-liners.
This is not a dog. This is a parrot. Dan, jump down, and Daddy will catch you. I love Jingle All the Way so much. I mean, one I actually have a lot of fond memories of Arnold Schwarzenegger, not only because of the times, but I only saw my dad in the summers and then every other Christmas, and he loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that's one of the things we really bonded over. So we went to see Jingle All the Way in theaters, which was
Mhm.
amazing. And we also saw Batman and Robin, where Arnold Schwarzenegger is Mr. Freeze. let me let me break the
Stay cool.
ice. The Iceman
Chill.
cometh.
Everybody just chill.
Yeah. I can't remember what the line is. It isn't a one-liner, but Arnold as Mr. Freeze is like saying something, and Bane is with him, and he's like, well, "This is what we're going to do now." And then Bane, who's like supposed to be kind of like a dumb character in this particular movie, when that's
Yeah.
not. Tom Hardy is a much better Bane. But anyway, that like kind of looks at him like the actor was perplexed, like, "Excuse me." He's like, even it sounded dumb even to him.
So did you I saw that you also got to watch Evil Dead Rise. Was that a rewatch or
No, no, no. That was Crystal. I watched it in theaters.
oh,
Crystal watched
okay.
it for the first time.
I rewatched it for a second time
I've
and
been
I
meaning
still
to
love
do
it.
that.
It is
Did
so
you feel any
good.
different about anything on a second watch?
The second watch, I appreciated it even more actually because I think I was able to take in more of the subtleties that you miss in theater when you're just trying to process all of it that's happening. And that movie is like a roller coaster of like pow 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 once it gets going. They did a really good job with pacing. So it's one of those movies that I think, like the 2013 one, is only going to get better and better every watch. You're going to appreciate more and more details about it. That's what I got from it, like rewatching it. I also watched The
Hype man.
Black Demon, which I can't wait to talk to Crystal about.
That's a
That
shark
was
one, right?
so bad. Like, I don't
Like
even,
sharks to
how
the
do they
corn
even,
bad?
not
Or
even
some
like, no, it's not that bad. I mean, it's
shark
an
exorcist?
entertaining enough film, but it's actually a megalodon, not just a shark.
Of course, because it
And
can't just be
of
a shark.
course, it can't just be a shark. It's got to be a
That bastard
megalodon.
shark. The shark's always a bastard,
There's
right?
like some weird, like, oh, you guys messed up this oil rig thing inspections, and now it's seeping into the ocean, and this megalodon is sent to like reap what you sow, kind of thing. Um, it's really bizarre. And the amount of time you get with the actual shark is so little when it's a giant shark. And the
It's the
expectation
point of the
is it's a
movie.
shark movie, but it doesn't feel like a shark movie. It feels like getting a comeuppance movie, I guess. Like paying your dues for being a shitty person kind of movie that happens to have a shark for the tool in which they eat them. Like that's about it. But like not enough shark. Not enough shark. I wouldn't even call it a shark movie. 2.5 stars. Did
That's a bummer.
not
That's
like.
a hard thing about animal attacks, which will be our next
Mhm.
episode that'll go up once we're back on track. Well,
Yeah.
not back on track, but back from our break. Is that the biggest things is usually or it's a giant monster or giant robot movie is that when the
Mhm.
budget isn't there. So it's one of those things where I'm getting used to these headphones instead of the others. So excuse me if I seem like I'm stalling. I'm just the sound is different than I'm used to. Um, is that sometimes the people relative to the danger seems very far away. And so a lot of
Yeah.
these Joe Bob Briggs and Darcy had Sharknado. I'm like, how am I watching Sharknado for the third time in my life? How is this happening? Um Come easy go, as Finn, the main character from Sharknado would say. You know that in it forever. Uh, is that it becomes a generic disaster movie, like having to move from one place to the other and that kind of stuff more so than a monster movie or I mean even some of the earlier kaiju films can be like that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wish I had higher hopes for it because it had the actor from Sweet Home Alabama in it, and I hadn't seen him in films in a long time. And I was happy to see him dip his toes in horror. I was hoping it would be a better film. But, whatever. He's still hot, I guess. So
I don't remember him. I remember
there's
Reese
that.
Witherspoon. What I think he's hot.
I don't think so. I think you would call him Hotel Art Man.
Yeah, but to be fair, I said that about most men.
Well, he has pretty average Hollywood look. Like, pretty
Mhm.
average rom-com leading man look. In fact, I think I get him mixed up with a lot of actors, including the one that you don't like. What's his
Patrick
face?
Wilson?
Yeah. Yeah, in
Okay, so
fact,
I
I
have a big
just mixed them
announcement.
up by watching a Patrick Wilson film the other day that I forgot was Patrick Wilson.
So I have a big announcement. I've been thinking about it, and this sounds like a joke, but it's not. I've actually it crosses my mind from time to time. I'm over my illogical dislike of Patrick Wilson.
Good.
I'm fine with
Great.
him now. And I'm
Good.
excited to watch
How
Insidious the
exciting.
Red Door. Did you see did you everyone see the trailer where the creature comes in the MRI?
I have been avoiding
Oh, you've been
trailers
avoiding. Okay.
because I thought we might react to them on here, so
Oh,
I
cool.
just
Cool, cool,
avoided
cool, cool.
them.
I put
But I
the new Friday night Five Nights at Freddy's trailer that was just dropped
yeah, I saw
today.
that, which I'm glad I haven't watched it yet, so we can watch it together.
Mhm.
I did watch another new movie that I hadn't seen before, which was She Came from the Woods, which was that summer camp horror film that came out that in 2022. It was actually pretty good. It was, when we did our summer camp episode, check that out if you guys haven't watched it. We
Camp
found it
Days,
was
Camp Hiawatha. Excuse me.
what the
Hiawatha. The look on that guy's face is forever. Like I think about stuff like that when I'm
Fucking
sad.
amazing. But I found that like we all agreed that it was actually kind of hard to find really good or decent summer camp horror that wasn't the already like well known and accepted summer camp horror. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
there's the obvious like
Then
Sleepaway
there's a lot of
Camp
like
and Friday the
not
13th,
very
The
good
Burning. And then there's a
sleepaway camp. Yeah.
ton that are just so bad.
I mean, some
It
people
was
really love the Camp
refreshing
Blood
to get a
movies.
decent one, which was I think She Came from the Woods is decent. It has that like fun summer camp vibe. It has a cool little twist. It has creepy kids. It has um, evil witchy stuff going on. Lots of
Oh, I
blood
love
and
witchy
gore.
stuff.
Considering it's not like a super high budget film. Um, what's her face's mom, isn't it, from Stranger Things? She's the mom in this one as well.
Winona Ryder?
No, the other mom. Uh,
There's not a lot of
Nancy's
moms.
mom.
Oh, Mrs. Wheeler?
Mrs. Wheeler.
Mrs.
Yes.
Wheeler.
Mrs. Wheeler. I watched this movie called Even Lambs Have Teeth, which is a gem that I never even heard of until recently. It was okay. I didn't give it a huge score, but I liked it, if that makes sense. Like I gave it 2.5 stars. So it was very, I don't know, but I also really liked it. So I found it really cathartic. It is like an SA revenge story, but they go like, I don't know, it's cathartic how like awesome these girls turn, you know,
I
and
I recognize their place in their
mhm.
harmful kind of place that they can have the rape revenge stories, but I myself usually enjoy them, even the ones that are obviously gratuitous and
Yeah.
for the male gaze. But that's me.
No actual rape scenes in this
Well, that's
one.
always a
So there's
bonus
no
and
SA
rare.
scenes. It's all implied behind doors, you know. You just know what's going on and there's their reaction before and after. So like you can see like they're pretty traumatized, but there isn't any actual on-screen
And what
physical
is this called?
assault.
Lambs have teeth.
Even Lambs Have Teeth
Even
from
lambs have teeth.
2015.
And hi, Kevin. And Sydney Prescott had asked, what did Camp Hiawatha come from? So it's one of those movies that
Oh,
changes
yeah.
titles, but I think it's still on Amazon to buy. It's called, and it was I watched it on YouTube under the name Camp Daze with a Z, Daze, where it's a time loop film
Like
and a horror
days.
film, and I loved it so much. They are trying to be a little cultish with it, and to be honestly, but there is an earnestness to it, and I just can't describe why I like it so much. Would I
Yeah.
recommend it to the average person? Absolutely not. Not because it's not gory or anything, but sometimes the acting is just so acting. I shouldn't have let the when I was drunk, I let that young boy drown. Don't you drown? And so, that character became demoted from camp counselor to janitor. Like that's how the world works. All right.
Definitely go check out our discussion on it because it was a lot of fun. And that was back when we were still doing like clips. So you can get a couple of the clips from it while we're talking about it in there. Um, Especially the Hiawatha part,
And
which
then that
is
kid's face is like this girl's really into Camp Hiawatha, and then they cut to the newcomer's face, and the look of disgust and confoundment is just so
it's
beautiful.
literally like mirroring anybody who's watching its face
They're like,
when she does it. Like, what? It's like cringy, but also I'm watching a movie. Like I can't look away.
I
But
wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised that was a real reaction from the actors. Like, she's going a little hard with this. All right.
Oh, really, really owned that line. Oh, I rewatched Ghost Ship because obvious reasons. I was in that early 2000s kick. But
I thought
I
you
was like,
meant
oh,
because the billionaires.
oh no, this was before that actually. I watched it on the 21st, so it was right before that, I guess. But
I don't understand the draw that billionaires have to tubes that go in space or underwater. It must be a thing that happens once you have a certain amount of money. Like, I want to go in a very uncomfortable, smelly tube somewhere. I don't get it. But anyway, go on about
I
go.
Well, I realized I liked Ghost Ship. I appreciate it more than I thought I did. Like rewatching it this time around, I was like, "Oh, this is actually really great. Like these moments are really good." Like
Not
there
just
were
the
a lot
beginning.
more yeah, there were a lot more really cool like story twists and moments that were happening. The flashbacks are just freaking awesome. But like the way people are killed and stuff, it's actually really good. I don't know why I always felt like I mean, first of all, it's a problem with the fact that the opening scene is like the best part. And after that, everything isn't bad. It's just not nearly as good as that opening scene is. And so it's almost like they should have put that in the middle at the reveal of what happened on this ship when they do it again and they show you everything that happened in real time instead of just showing us that wire cut scene because now it just lives it like infamously as like the best opening scene, but then it's kind of a shit movie, but it's not. I just rewatched it, and honestly, if you cut that opening scene out and you just kind of let the movie play out, it's a pretty good movie. You could
I'll have to
actually
rewatch it. It's been a long time.
really enjoy it, and it's interesting how much the order of a film and the way that the film is paced, like where they put like the good moments or where they're banking on a climax. And they were banking so hard on the ghost ship climax being the plot reveal and all the like layers of backstabbery going on that they
I don't
put their
remember anything but the
actual
beginning
best
scene.
scene at the front. And like after that, everything is just like wah wah wah. Like we all figured it out pretty quick. Like, I don't know. They expected that to be like M. Night Shyamalan level plot twist, but it really wasn't. However, if that wire cutting scene was during the reveal of those plot whatever, it would have been a freaking great film. And I bet it would have been noted as a better film. It's just crazy to me how that happens, how you could just like move a scene around in a movie and it would probably completely change that movie. But yeah, I had a blast rewatching it. I was like, man, I
I'll have to
rewatched
rewatch it.
this
It's been a very
opening
long
scene
time.
so much that I honestly just don't remember much of the rest of the film. And even now, like some of the rest of the film is fading from my memory. That's what's unfortunate about that movie. They put the
Sounds
best
like it's a
part at the
decent
beginning.
movie, you know? Well, it's a fun time.
It is. It's a good time. So I definitely highly recommend rewatching it and maybe skipping over the best part and like watching it in the middle. And then
Do
it's a
a
completely different
Justine
movie.
edit.
A little Justine at it. Yeah. And then
I don't know.
oh,
Mhm.
go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then I just watched some classic comfort films. Like I rewatched the Cornetto trilogy and
What's the Cornetto trilogy?
Jennifer's Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the
Oh, yeah.
Dead
Okay, yeah.
and At World's End. And then I watched Cabin in the Woods again.
We have a Cabin in the Woods question in our
Ooh,
questions.
let's do
Although
it.
I'll ask that one first. Did watch Asteroid City and I
Oh
really
yeah.
liked it. But surprise, surprise, the film bro, film snob in the podcast, I like Wes Anderson movies. I did like it. I think it might be one of my
our
favorite
our
ones.
our podcast film bro loves Wes Anderson. That's
Not a surprise.
Are we surprised?
No. It is one. I think it's one of my favorite Wes Anderson films, though. It was delightful.
Well, that's exciting. I'm already not a big fan of him, so
Uh,
it's a
surpri-
little too stylized for me.
I'm
Are
always
we surprised?
alone.
Are we surprised? I don't hate his stuff. I like some of it. Like I
Well,
like
I
the
think
Royal
that
Tenenbaums and
I like the Royal Tenenbaums too. It's one of my
Grand
favorites. I think,
Budapest was cool.
yeah, this one is up there with those, and I think that sometimes the portrayal of the characters can be a bit much, along with the style. And I think that this is
Mhm.
more of an endearing story that, to me personally, I think, because, and I don't want to give anything away because it's so new right now.
Yeah.
To me, it felt a little more endearing. I mean, it's still a very much a Wes Anderson film. Don't get me wrong, but it felt like a more endearing story than some of the others. So,
Yeah.
um, okay, so you ready for the Cabin in the Woods question? And
Am
I
I
assume this
ready?
was
Yes.
geared towards you because, like, again, I'm gonna assume. I assume these anonymous questions I get from the message app that I use, that I usually post on, mostly Instagram, sometimes other places. I assume it's to all of us. So if you ever have a question for one of us specifically, you're gonna have to specify. But this one seems a little
Mhm.
bit Justine, considering your vast knowledge of Cabin in the Woods, and you're our Cabin in the Woods specialist, right? I'm curious if you were part of the movie's elaborate scenario as one of the characters, which archetype or role would you choose to embody and why? And how would you navigate the twisted plot to outsmart the gamekeepers behind the scenes?
Well, that's
Justine?
tough because I probably would be a gamekeeper. I probably would be part of the organization. So that's tough. If I had to be one of the like people, I would hope to be the final girl, but I think I would end up being the girl, the whore. So,
Well, to be fair, in
uh,
these horror movies, whether it's a spoof on horror movie tropes or those horror movie tropes, to be the whore, all you have to do is be a young woman who has sex with her boyfriend. That's all you have to be. It's not even like
literally, like they work with what they get. That's what they said. But I can see myself like I don't know, probably that. Or I would be like Marty.
I'm
I think
Marty, although I'm not a
Marty.
stoner, but not for any reason. I'm just the thing is because the movie
Mhm.
is the part of it is that you don't know going into it. So assuming I'm going into this, right? The scenario of Cabin in the Woods, and I know that we're going to be divided into stereotypes. It doesn't really matter which stereotype I pick, and my friends are going to be altered through the chemicals and stuff they use and whatever
Yeah.
to be more distracted towards the
Mhm.
danger. So if you look at like the battlefield idea of this, so assuming, because obviously the easiest way to do it is just, as Marty would say, do not read the fucking Latin. Don't touch anything in the basement.
Right.
That feels like a cop out for me to say. So assuming we have to touch something in the basement, we kind of like look around the basement, or I do, and I make sure I can get in the basement first, assuming my friends are unaware of what's going on, and try and figure out what seems like the easiest thing to avoid or get rid of. And then whenever there is a problem, I mean, if it's a merman, if it can't really come on the shore that well, it's
Mhm.
not much of a problem. But if it's something that can get to us, then the next step would be to eliminate that problem first. And then I really
Mhm.
don't see instead. I don't really see another way because it's such a controlled environment with all of these
Mhm.
fail safes. Um, it's kind of hard to infiltrate that.
Well, I
And
think
besides, I
like
want to meet Sigourney Weaver.
right. Well, that's why I think because of our extensive knowledge on horror, we would be probably recruited by the organization,
Oh, we totally be
not
working for the
like
organization.
yeah, not like part of the pawns. But like I said, if we're sticking like ourselves into a box and saying that we are one of the pawns, we're not like we would be like a Marty character because of our horror knowledge. I feel like I'm more outspoken and take charge than Marty. So I would be like, don't read that. And we would end up with a different monster.
I wouldn't even
It
go in
would
the
not be
basement,
the
dude.
Latin.
Like, I don't like.
I
I don't
mean,
want to.
I would definitely go into the basement because
I would
I'm a
not.
curious bitch and I want to check out all the cool stuff down there and who knows what kind of treasures you can find. So I know that we would probably trigger something, but it would not have been from reading the Latin. Um, I just don't foresee Dana being more like talkative or aggressive about touching things than me. So I would probably have already grabbed something and like triggered something before she even had a chance to get to the Latin.
Who's Dana?
Dana is the girl who read the Latin.
Oh,
She's the one who
okay.
had the diary and read it. She was the final girl.
Ah,
Um, yeah, so I'm pretty sure I would trigger it. I would be a Marty character. I would survive and I would throw everything off because we once I realized that we were being attacked by something horrendous like a horror film, then I would trip into like horror mode. Like, well, what are all the things I have in my little brain up here of knowledge of horror that we could like pull out and figure through. And I feel like I would be the wild card that Marty is, but just in a different capacity, where he was more of a conspiracy theorist who smoked too much of his own weed that it counteracted the chemicals. And that was a wild card enough, but also that he wasn't like some pushover nerd because they,
He
again,
was
were
the
working with what they
fool.
had. Yeah, so he wasn't an actual fool. That kind of was the wild card for them. Whereas I think for us, it would be that we have extensive horror knowledge. So
I think the easiest way to survive, and hoping that the other countries come through so the gods don't get released, is to somehow try and pick a horror that will attack us that is more manageable,
mhm.
or find a way to band together, trying to get my friends who are like drugged and stuff to be these types of characters to help me destroy whatever the problem is, and then wait out till morning, because what else are you going to do, because it has to happen that night, right?
Right, but we don't know that it has to happen that night
Well, assuming
until
this
they
is
get down
assuming we
there.
are aware, because we couldn't
No,
pick our stereotypes. If I couldn't pick
yeah.
my stereotype, which one would I be? I don't think I'd be Marty. I think I'd be one of the girls. I don't know.
I don't know either because it's tough. I feel like I
Maybe the
feel like we would
mom.
end up being the final girls just because we would survive, and I just don't foresee us getting so here's the question.
The thing
At
is,
the
if we brought
end,
a boyfriend, then we'd be the whore. If we don't bring a boyfriend, then we're the final girl. That's pretty much it.
right. So whore the whore. I'm the whore.
I'm not saying
So
I'm bringing my like I like to do that. Do I have like my boyfriend to the cabin? Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't, or maybe I bring
we've
somebody else,
been
or
trying to go
maybe
camping like all summer, so uh we would be there. I feel like okay, so at the end, it's Dana and Marty and Sigourney Weaver, and she is the director, and she is basically saying you have to kill him or the entire world is over as we know it. What you saw in those cubes was nothing compared to what the gods will do. Yada yada yada. What do you do? Do you shoot Marty?
that's a really tough question, because it's like one of those situations, even though
Right.
very fictional. I don't think you can know what you're gonna do. Do I be honest, or
Mm.
do I make myself look good? I don't know.
Well,
I
let me
probably
help.
would shoot.
I would shoot him.
I
Like,
probably would shoot Marty too. I'm sorry, Marty.
I would be thinking about my daughter, all my friends and family, the people I just lost. Like, as much as I
It's
don't
like
want
that
to
trolley
placate the
philosophical
organization,
question with the
it is.
track.
It
Like,
is. Mhm.
is one
You're
life
except for
worth
you're
more
putting
than
my
many?
kid on one of those tracks, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna let her die for you.
I
Sorry.
don't have children, but I have dogs I care about. Okay, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Marty.
your dogs would just like turn into monsters, probably.
They could
That's
never.
what the ancient ones would do.
They could never. And
I
Optimus will probably go
I
running,
love that
screaming into the
question.
night
It's really
until a
hard.
giant arm squashes me.
Yeah, pretty much. Just running in circles in the woods from the limpy zombie redneck family, torture family.
I love that. Pessimisty says, if you ever wonder what a Wes Anderson horror movie would look like, Google The Midnight Country of
Coterie?
Sinister
Coterie?
Cotudery? No, it's not that. Of
Coterie?
Sinister Intruders. I see all those AI created Wes Anderson stuff on TikTok a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I see a lot of people recreating AI
I
or
see
not
that too.
recreating AI, but recreating scenes and films as a Wes Anderson.
A lot of Scream ones.
It's a lot of
AJ,
really
the illustrator, did a lot of Scream stuff, and I liked
yeah.
that.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool ones out there. I really enjoyed those. Oh, it's an SNL sketch. We'll have to check it out.
I'd
Someone
like
said
to
that
see
they
a
saw The
Wes Anderson
Blackening
horror.
today. I want to see that really bad. I heard it
What is
was
it?
really good. The Blackening, it's excuse me, I just burped. It's
I didn't hear it. You're good.
it's it's a horror comedy that just came out that is primarily led by people of color, and it's like a real funny one, I hear.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want to see it. I hear good things, and it looks like Kevin is saying agreed. Great movie. What else did we get in the chat? Evil Dead Rise 2 is getting too much hate. Yeah, oh, it's totally getting too much hate. I agree.
It's
I
new with
It's new.
time.
That's gonna always happen. Oh, do you guys like I've said this every single time I brought up the 2013 one. Everybody hated that when it came out, and it's my favorite one. So I think it just comes with time. A lot of people just got to get sometimes it's really hard to get out of your own way about a movie. So memories are funny that way. What's our
Everything
next
with time, like a
question?
lot of people, everyone hated House of a Thousand Corpses, and now so many horror fans love it. Just with time. I'm not saying everyone's gonna love everything with time, but sometimes it just takes
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of time.
True.
Do we want a different question?
Then what? Yes, I don't
Uh,
know.
I think this is from the same person, which adds some compliments, which I think might be directed towards you, but we can both take it.
Ooh.
If you were a seductive incarnation of Pennywise from It, how would you weave a mesmerizing spell upon me, using your chilling allure and dark humor to invoke both fear and desire simultaneously? Question mark. So if you were a seductive version of Pennywise the Clown, Justine, instead of
Uh-huh.
using fear, you'd use your seductive, chilling. What did they say? Chilling allure and dark humor, or what have you? You need to seduce somebody to come over to you and feed off of. So I'm assuming this Pennywise, instead of feeding off of fear, it feeds off arousal. So
Well,
Justine,
remember
how
when
would
we
you?
did the clown makeup?
Yes,
You remember? Yeah, I would probably do some makeup kind of like that. I thought I looked really cute. So I would be that kind of
did
clown,
look
more like a
cute.
Harlequin.
I think they
Um,
mean in
very
method. Like,
cute.
how would you seduce?
I don't know. I don't know. I think what's cool about the Pennywise character is that it really does, it's subjective to whoever he's trying to incite
Exactly, just
fear
like in real
from.
life, you can't
So
seduce everyone the same way.
yeah, I feel like it
Cater
would
the
be
seduction.
subjective to whoever I'm trying to, and I would have some insight on that because just like Pennywise knows their fear, their greatest fears, and he makes them come to life, I would know their greatest desires and I would make those come to life. And then I would eat them.
Eat them all. Eat
And
them
they
up
just wouldn't
good.
even know it. That would be great. It'd be like like a venom. They'd just be like so happy and dead. Like,
Because some people
that would
like
be fun.
somebody to flirt very openly and very forward, and some people don't like forward. Some people like the chase. So as the Pennywise seducer, have the insight and you feed off of their arousal and then you feed off their flesh.
Yeah.
Not metaphorically either, like literally bones and all.
Yeah.
Um, we did get a compliment. Also, where is it? Um,
Somebody's low key trying to get Justine to make with the sexe. Yeah. A for effort.
Great questions. Well, hi, Clown
Yeah,
Icon.
these
Good to
are
see you.
fun. I like these. I like these questions. Also, isn't the Freddy's wet dream kill? That is.
What the kid that
You're
doesn't
right.
speak very much?
That is
Those are the
that is exactly what I would do. The Freddy's wet dream kill. That would be me as Pennywise. But a little
so the
clowny.
somebody
But a
thanked
little
us. Thank you,
funnier.
ladies, for your level-headed, awesome dating and relationship advice. I don't
Hmm.
remember what advice we gave out.
I feel like we
But
give out advice
you're
every episode. We get a question about dating.
well, I mean, I think we as women in our 30s know about
I'm
dating
36 now.
advice. Happy I'm the middle child. Of course I am. The film bro's the middle child. You're the baby of the
I'm the
podcast.
baby,
We're
which
all
is
like basically the same
wild.
age. It's like
We
by
are.
month. It's by month. I was born in February. Justine born in June.
June.
Crystal's born in March, right? Or April. Shit. April. I mean, Crystal, I love you. I
I
just
think
have to
it's
remember
March.
March. Yeah, because she's an Aries.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. No. It's
Venus.
very easy, like with anybody, and like most of you know, I don't think we have any young viewers that are so young, but it's easy for us to sit at our desks, talking funny, goofy, and to be able to give level-headed advice. But when you're in the depths of your emotions, your connection with somebody, whether it's really like this, you're a melding of the minds and the flesh, or they're just a lot of fun.
it's harder to be more level-headed sometimes. You try your best though.
I ignore my own good advice all the time because I am blinded by something.
Like, hey,
Um,
they're really hot. Like, I know this is dumb,
oh, yeah.
but they're super hot.
I know this person's cheating on me, but I mean, it's really great when you hear like that kind of stuff. Like, so I mean, is it worth it? We'll just ignore it. Just ignore it until it's like in my face.
Life is short, man, you know?
Love is the polar opposite of level-headed. That's true. True.
It can be. I think love can be level-headed as well. It depends on what kind of
I
love.
think
I
it's
guess
an exchange of level-headedness.
Mm.
And you hope that you have a partner you can confidently and trust to exchange that level-headedness with and be a little out of sorts when you need to be because everybody's going to get there.
I just dropped my mouse. Give me a second. My ADHD body won't stay still ever.
That's okay. By the
My
way, you
leg
guys,
falls
I
asleep.
hate to make it a short one again, but I do need to. I am having some hormone shifts today.
So, do you want to
Lady
wrap it up
problems.
in the next half hour, shorter, longer?
Yeah, let's just like went around the hour mark on the live, if that's okay.
Where is the hour?
We have like a half hour. A half hour.
Okay. All right. Here's a quick answer question.
Mm.
Will you do a Star Trek episode? And me as the Star Trek fan, I'm going to immediately say no. I mean, I would love to do a Star Trek episode if we would just, but to
Mhm.
even, you can watch the movies and understand them, but if you don't have the emotional connection that you do when you also watch the show, it's even First Contact,
Mhm.
which is mostly most people's favorite one. Jonathan Frakes directing is always a win. Jonathan Frakes, who plays Riker, you know, he's so
Yeah.
tall he can just like swing his legs over chairs and he's sitting in them. Anyway, not important.
It
I
would
lost
be
track of.
It
It would be
it I
fun,
I
but
agree. It would be well, it's fun as someone who's already connected to the characters to, like, go through and watch some of your favorite episodes with us and share that with us. I think it would be
or the
really fun
movies. But
to
Crystal
pick
really doesn't like Star Trek, and I don't want to put her through that.
No, but I think it would be fun for us to each pick, like, a show that's not really horror that has a horror episode and talk about it. Because I think it's really interesting how a lot of shows have horror or Halloween episodes, even if they're not particularly horror-esque shows at all, and those are typically my favorite episodes. Like, Community, the zombie Halloween party episode is one of the
Oh
best
yeah,
episodes of that show, and that would be my pick. I'd be like, "We're watching that. We're watching that because it's
it's a great show.
hilarious." It's such a good feel-good show, but I feel like that would be an interesting look into how, like, certain horror elements are inspired and put into these non-horror shows, and check that out. That would be cool. And there's that one isn't there that one Star Trek episode with, like, a worm
There's a
that's really
few with
gross?
worms.
Yeah, there's a few with worms. But you know what I mean?
Whether
Like, there's some really
biological
spooky ones.
or is it a
Yeah.
next generation or is it original?
I don't remember. I just
Okay.
remember a worm going into someone's ear
I'll
or
collect all the
something.
episodes that you could be talking about.
But I could
Um,
also be mixing it up with something completely different because there's probably another show I watched where, like, a worm went in someone's belly or something. Like,
well,
I
I think
don't
one of
know.
the creepiest worm type episodes was like the flute worm. I've mentioned this before. I think last live was the X-Files episode with the toilet worm, the flute worm
Mm.
thing. So disgusting. Oh my god. Ugh. I can't.
Are you talking about the lamprey man?
Yeah, he's like a whole man and he's white and he's like got the
Yeah, the lamprey. He's a lamprey. So great. I love that episode. That episode and the one with the guy that eats livers and squeezes through small spaces
That was the same season, I think, or close to it.
and the home episode. Those 3 were, like, the
Oh my god,
freakiest
that one
and
is
most
so
memorable to me.
that one really stuck out with me. The home
Yeah.
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one.
I don't know what state they're
Mm,
in. I don't know if it's Texas or
I think it's West
Alabama.
Virginia.
Same thing. Not
Yeah,
really. West Virginia
it's
actually is
messed
particularly
up. And there's like so
particular.
many episodes that had like specific scenes like that that are just like burned in my mind where like I remember them because they affected me so much. Like I didn't like sitting on a toilet because of the liver eating guy because he crawled in through people's toilets.
Oh,
And he was a grown man and he ate people's
Desperate
livers.
much? Ugh.
What? Very creepy. Very creepy. And he turned like yellowish. That's why he needed their livers.
Oh, on news, definitely. I was sad to hear it. Big rest in peace to Julian Sands. They found his remains. He's passed away. Room with a View, Warlock. But only recently just watched David Lynch's daughter's premiere movie, Boxing Helena, with him in it. Great actor. He will be missed.
Wasn't he also in Arachnophobia? Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and
I
Naked
love
Lunch.
him in Arachnophobia. He's so cool and he still gets got. Like, you thought you were so smart, so spider smart. That spider smarted you.
That's another no in any kind of horror movie. You can't think you're too smart, or the movie's gonna have to prove you wrong.
Yep. Yeah, I
Um,
love Arachnophobia. We do need to do an insect episode at some point because
we do. I don't know.
we
if
talked
any
about even doing
specific-
like a specific like spider one and a specific bug one. Like
the
because
spiders are very specific.
and there's
Spiders.
so many spider ones. Yeah.
1 second. All right. Someone asked us 2 comic book questions, separate ones though.
Comic book, huh?
Well, a comic book show. Or movie. One's a
Oh.
movie question, one is a show. One is
Mm.
favorite Marvel show and least favorite. Justine?
Show?
Show. What it said.
That's tough. I actually really I didn't finish Moon Knight, but I also didn't watch all of What If. So I'm gonna say What If is probably my least
What is
favorite.
What If?
What If is the one where they did alternate timelines, where different things happened, with slight changes, like instead of Captain America being
What's Iron Fist?
Roger
Oh my
Aaron
god, I don't
or
even know
Roger.
that.
I wasn't even thinking about those, but I still enjoyed Iron Fist more than
What is
What
Iron
If.
Fist?
Iron Fist is the one that had the guy from Game of Thrones and Finn something.
there's many guys from Game of Thrones.
He played
Pedro Pascal?
Loris Tyrell in
Is
Game of
that Pedro
Thrones.
Pascal?
No, it's something Finn, I think.
I probably
I can't
wouldn't know.
remember his name. Oh my gosh. I wasn't expecting to do Marvel discussions. My favorite is probably that's tough. There's like a 3-way tie for the shows, probably because I liked a lot of them. But I really loved WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and
That was a show?
Hawkeye. Those 3 were my favorite. And right now, I'm really, really liking Secret Invasion so far. I have one huge complaint about the first episode, but beyond that complaint, which happens at the very end, that
Samuel
episode
Jackson in it at all?
had me in it. Oh yeah, he's in it a lot. And it's like a whole nother side of Nick Fury that I'm just obsessed with. I love the direction that they're taking the show in, so I'm really excited about it. But yeah, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was, I thought, the most straightforward and grounded, and I think it had the best character development for the specific characters that we were watching, where Hawkeye had the most heart and
That's the guy
WandaVision
with the
bow, yeah, and it
Okay.
had Haley Steinfeld. She was fantastic, and
I like her a lot.
yeah, I really liked Hawkeye had like fun, like heart and banter, and like like they have the like happy guy or the grumpy guy and the sunshine girl pairing kind of going on. It was very classic, like fun, adorable. I don't know, and it was set in Christmas, and so like the setting was just really nostalgic. It just gave you all the feel goods. But But then WandaVision, I think, was the most like epic, dramatic, interesting, and had some of the coolest characters. Plus, like Elizabeth Olsen really rips your heart out in that Vision. Those are two very beloved characters who I think tend to steal a lot of the movies that they were a part of. So it's really great to see them have an entire show to themselves and it be so focused on such raw trauma and emotion. And I thought that they handled it beautifully. Um, and it really helped us sympathize with what was going on with her, which might have actually been a problem for Multiverse of Madness, to be honest, because she was so loved. And we went through that journey with her that it was hard to see her as a villain and not feel sympathetic. So, yeah, I would say those three are tied, but it's possible that Secret Invasion might be my favorite.
A lot of people in the chat are talking about the Marvel stuff. I have only seen one show, so it is both my favorite and least favorite, I guess, which is Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
It's
Go figure.
That's the end. That's all I have to say.
I still haven't even finished that one. I didn't get into it too much, but it's not
If you want
bad.
to see
It's just
CGI Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke, it's got it. It's odd. At the end, during the battle, like
yeah.
we all know what battle's gonna happen, okay? And it's underwhelming. All the actors are great, but where they're like in the air and they're like gonna collide, and it's CGI version of both of them. So
Oh, unfortunate.
it's fine. If the rest of the
Yeah,
show,
What If was my
if the
least
rest of
favorite
the
as well.
story was better, I didn't hate it, but to be fair, obviously this is not the type of thing I like watching anyway. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's for me to say I didn't like it that much.
I actually was pretty disappointed that What If was done the way it was done. I thought it could have been a much cooler anthology if they actually would have brought, I mean, obviously it would have been a much bigger
Does it have the main Avengers characters? Is
endeavor.
that what it does?
Yeah, but it like swaps some of the story lines on how things played out
Oh,
in
Scarlett
the
Johansson in
universe.
it?
No, it was all animated. That's what I was gonna say. Like, I wasn't a fan that it was animated. I would have preferred if it was live action and they just did an anthology and maybe did a shorter series with bigger episodes and not try to pack so much what ifs in. But yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. It's just it's hard for me sometimes with animation to like take a story seriously, especially when it's told in a very narrative style like it was. It's just not my favorite. So,
For my
yeah.
Misties out there, which I know there's at least two. I don't know if you can't read my button, but obviously it's the master, and I have my own master's cloak. I cannot wait to wear it on the podcast. And it says "not pleased at all," and it even has the master's Doberman there. The
Are you
master
guys
will not be
excited?
pleased.
You're doing that this weekend, right?
On Sunday, but I'm not doing Manos.
What are you guys doing?
Yes. I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
surprise you guys.
Surprise Misty night this Sunday. Emma will be
'Cause-
hosting.
again. So we'll do the same thing we did the other time because it worked so well, where we'll watch the movie, and then we'll have a chat afterwards, all
Oh,
together,
Misty chat.
where you can do just text chat if you prefer, or you can have your camera and mic on during the after chat. Although I will say, and I'll repeat this again, without getting into too much detail, I'm just going to say that it's a rule now. No one's done anything. Just generally, it's a rule. Everyone has to be wearing a shirt. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, that goes for me. It goes for everybody. Nothing happened.
Y'all perverts. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm just kidding.
No. I'm just saying, as a rule of thumb, it's just, I think, a good idea. No one had their
Okay,
shirt
y'all.
up. I'm
If you
just
want to
gonna
be on
say,
camera,
everyone
you
keep
got to be clothed. Them's the rules.
I mean, if you're on camera and you're like I am now, and you're not, I do have a skirt on. But
If
I wasn't
you're
wearing another, if I can't see that you're not wearing anything underneath, it's not a problem. I
Right.
just think it's just better for everyone's comfort level. Again,
Just
no one's done
remember,
anything wrong.
exhibition is a
It has
kink
to
and it
do-
requires consent. Like,
So I think as a general rule for in common courtesy for everyone, it's just easier that if your body is visible, the parts that I think we all know that need to be covered are covered. That's it. And it's not directed towards anyone specific. Just seems like a good enough
just
rule.
whoever
Since
got naked last time. Yeah.
nobody got
Loser.
naked
I'm
last
just-
time.
I just like riling you up when you're trying to talk about uncomfortable,
I-
serious stuff. It's hilarious. All right, I'll stop teasing. What's our
No,
next
no. I
question?
like teasing. It's fine. It's fine.
I was tasteful as fuck, Optimisty says. I think we know who it was then. Optimisty telling on himself.
Hey, then pessimistic. So it's like it seems like we all just got naked. No, we did not.
I said I was sorry. Pessimisty too. You both did? Oh my goodness.
We all
Oh,
had a
that's
lovely
fine.
discussion, and everyone was fully clothed that were on camera. If you're just
Right.
at the check stat and we can't know, totally fine. I just think it's just a general rule of thumb. It was a question that came up, and I just wanted to give an answer to it, and I will mention it
No.
during the beginning of the chat. And again, no one's done anything wrong. Just general rule: you have to have clothes on.
Yet.
Yet.
Yet. Operative word. Or allegedly. All right. What's our
I
next
just think it'll make things
question?
easier for it to just be a general rule. That's all.
I agree.
So here's a question. Do you think it's true that the Boston accent is the hardest to pull off? So I've heard actors say that it is, but as somebody that is a New Englander,
New
I wouldn't be able
Englander?
to say. I can't do any accents, so I only know from other people that have said. I know that I'm not an expert on Boston accent.
Car keys. That's all I know.
Cockies.
Car keys. In the park.
I just know that Tom Hanks can't do a good one. Julianne Moore is terrible at it, and she's great. I love these are all actors I like, and Benedict Cumberbatch, please. The only
Please.
people I've ever heard do Boston accent well, besides Matt Damon, who's from Matt
Ben
Damon is
Affleck.
not from Boston. All right, let's get that straight. He's not from Boston. He's from Cambridge, technically.
Cambridge. He's not from
Cambridge.
Boston. He's from
He's not
Cambridge.
from Boston. He's not from Rochester. all right?
Cambridge.
He's not from Rochester. He's not going to the Packy down the corner after you go to the beach.
But he nails
Um,
the accent for sure.
He does. I'm just joking around. But he is technically from Cambridge. The only person that I've heard do a good Boston accent that isn't from the Boston area is Seth Meyers, who's actually from he lived when growing up, and he's older than me, so not at the same time. 25 minutes away from where I live, so he's from southern New Hampshire. So I think that you have to have like a little. I don't know why people think it's so hard, but I think the worst I ever heard it just
expose yourself to somebody for a while, and it just rubs off.
You just gotta hang around the Wahlbergs.
My best friend in the army, Valerie Sullivan. Oh, should I not say her full name? Val. She's from Boston, and she had a Boston accent, and
Sullivan.
Yeah, it just rubbed off all the time. And she was it was so funny, like going out drinking with her and trying to mimic her accent.
Yeah, Michael Caine can't even do it. Like, it's crazy. I don't know why it's difficult.
Well, it's counterintuitive because you're not going to pronounce the R the same way all the time, but you want to, and then like it doesn't sound right, and then it sounds forced when people try to do it, and really they just need to relax and get into it. But yeah, I don't know if that's the hardest accent. I don't know enough about accents to say.
Maine accents could be a mite tough, yeah, but the heavy Maine accent, also, which is related but different. It's more of a drawl. It's like Boston accent with a drawl. I can't do a Maine accent either. The worst Boston accents I've ever heard was in Cabinet of Curiosities, the episode that Justine was excited because one of her guys was in it. I can't remember which one. And Ted Barnes and Kristen, both of them, I don't know. They were doing accents that came from nowhere. Like, I'm like, what is happening? This whole episode, they're like,
What?
Like
What
weird
is that?
transatlantic blend of like what they thought New
An
Yorkers
accent
or
that doesn't exist
Bostonians sounded like
anywhere.
anywhere. Like
They
it
both were
sounded
terrible,
so
both of
bizarre.
them.
Like they were just both like egging each other on for a bad accent. Like they just
So,
leaned
like,
into a really weird decision. But to be
I
fair, that was
feel
the
like
most memorable thing about that film.
yeah, it
That
was
episode.
actually. I think it would be really funny behind the scenes. They're like, we can't do this. Well, let's just like make it as like
Let's just be
weird as we
British. There's a
can.
lot of British people back then too. Like in America. Like, why did you need to? Like, nobody actually notices accents unless they're bad. Like, think back to when we were watching movies like Robin Hood with Kevin Costner, and he did not have an accent. He was fully
He
American around a
tried.
whole bunch of accent people doing
He
all sorts of
tried, and they
British and
said, "Forget it."
Scottish.
That's the funniest part. He was
Right.
trying, and they're like, "You know what? Just don't."
And I never would have known that he was told not to have an accent because I didn't notice watching the movie that he didn't have an accent because he was just Kevin Costner. Like it gets to a point where it's like as long as you can understand what they're saying and their character is believable, the accent is just secondary. And you'll only get people who are like real crotchety about that specific character or that specific area who give a damn. And the people who try an accent and fail miserably are what we talk about. That's what we talk about. Like Tom Hanks, he's just not good at accents. His Elvis one in Elvis,
I didn't
what
see
was
it.
that? Like,
Supposed to be
yeah,
Southern,
no,
right? It was
no,
the
it
Colonel.
was like German. Like he had like some German. It was like he was trying to be a Southern German guy. I don't know. It was bad. It was bad. So
even
I
as a
remember bad ones. Like Keanu Reeves was mentioned.
I can't
Yeah.
do a great Boston accent, but even as a New Englander, if I had to do an accent, Bostonish accent, I'm like, I'll give you a flair here and there, but mostly I'm not gonna try real hard at it because it's not gonna sound good.
Exactly.
And okay, let's see. Here are two. I'm gonna ask these questions at the same time, not related. One question is, what celeb has big dick energy? And the second question is something I don't understand. Bill Clinton saxophone or George Bush 9/11 tie?
What? Neither. I don't know. I don't understand the question. But the first
You
one
have to
for
choose
me,
either or. The saxophone or the 9/11 tie.
saxophone.
I'm gonna go with George Bush Sr.'s vomit when he was at that dinner in Japan.
That wasn't one of the options. You
Say
don't
I
get to
have-
make up new rules for yourself and not allow me to say neither. Like,
You could have said neither. I never said you
I
had to
did
choose.
say neither. Like, neither.
Oh, true. Very true.
Anywho, big dick energy, Cillian Murphy and Tom Hardy forever will be big D energy for me. I don't know what watching interviews with those guys. Enough said. I don't know what
I'm
else to
not
say.
Sure, I understand big dick energy as well as I should, but I think the person that sticks up in my mind, only one, the late and great Steve Irwin, and not because he's
Oh
not because he's like wrestling animals and stuff. It just he was just so nice and passionate
genuine.
and really great
He's
with
just a
people and
genuine guy.
genuine, like
Living.
yeah, like that's the only person that and I'm not attracted to him. Or I'm not attracted to him as well. But I mean, it's the only person I can think of. Like, yeah, that's what big
He was
dick
hanging.
energy is. Steve
He was
Irwin.
hanging. Yeah, I think like when I think of Cillian Murphy, the reason I think of him so quickly is because if you ever watch him in interviews, he doesn't hide the fact that he wants to be somewhere else. Like you could tell, like he's just there because it's in his contract. He's going
don't
to
blame
answer
him.
the questions. If he doesn't like a question, he will just answer it honestly. Like he'd be like, I don't know what a meme is. I don't have Instagram. I don't have social media. So he's very honest, like, don't you know anything about me when he gets stupid questions like that repeatedly. And for me, like, it's not like a delivery of someone with just audacity. It's delivery of someone who's like, I'm just honest. Like with who I am, I don't cower or like hide from anybody or pretend. I don't do the dog and pony show. It's wholly big dick energy. And Tom Hardy
some
is just
people have
because I'm
more of a-
ridiculously attracted to him, and it's got to be. That's it.
I think
Has
that
to.
with the Killian Murphy thing, I agree. Like, they have to do so many fresh stuff. I'd
Mhm.
be tired of it too. But some people have more, and this is not against Killian Murphy at all. It has nothing to do with him really. But some people have more privilege to be more apathetic or disagreeable, whether it's because you
Yeah.
have a certain reputation or you're a woman or a
Mhm.
marginalized group. Obviously, like for some reason, everyone's always down Anne Hathaway's throat for no reason.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah, if any female actress ever acted like he did in interviews, the treatment would be completely different. We like laud him. Like we're like, "Oh, he's so hot." Like he just doesn't care. He's never mean, which is I think a big difference. He isn't mean, but a girl doing the same thing or a woman doing the same thing or someone who's a person of color doing the same thing, they would definitely not get the same treatment that hottie patati Killian Murphy white guy does. But that privilege gave him big dick energy, in my opinion. He's
It'd be
so
cool if he
hot.
was my brother. He's like a
God,
brother
so
type to me. Like it'd be nice
Ooh,
to have.
that back to the step bro energy. Hey, step
Yeah, yeah. No, just a brother type like Trent Reznor. Like
Nick Nolte never did a good accent. Even his own accent wasn't good. They said also, if you've ever heard Nick Nolte's Italian accent and Lorenzo's oil, you've lived a charmed life. Homeboy comes across sounding like the Great Cornholio. Dude sounds like the Great Cornholio, just talking. Like him and Gary Busey, I feel like they just are goofy dudes.
yeah, I can see that. Goofy in a different way. The bag of worms.
Yeah.
Um,
Moving away
we
from
can
that bag of worms.
skip this not because of not liking the question, but because of time element. We have other questions as well. Someone is daring us to show the first 5 TikToks on our FYP with no skipping.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to go first or second?
Sure.
Sure to both. I'll go both. I'm fine with it.
I love this new feature, by the way, that TikTok has where like you can have it open muted. Which is great.
I want that feature.
Okay, so the first one, let me see if I can get it to.
See, my screen's my dog.
The first one is just an AI pinup video. Super exciting. So there's one. Okay, I am gonna skip lives. Next is book talk, which this will probably be smutty.
I heard spicy. I had the word spicy.
This is the least spicy book talk one I've ever seen come up on
Is
my
that a
FYP.
transatlantic
So
accent I
lucky.
hear? It
That was
sounds like
transatlantic. How funny. And then an ad. I'll skip ads. And then our blog and banshee.
Oh, the Boggy Banshee.
I love her too.
So sweet. Molly's sweet.
It's her stories, so those are great. And then some Pride Month stuff, which we love a good clapback for Pride.
A lot of AI.
Yeah, it's a drag
All over
ad that you can
TikTok.
get. And I'm skipping lives. So how many am I on?
I think you're there.
This is Heather Musical, go figure.
Mine started with a live. I'm not gonna
Book
skip
boyfriend.
lives.
Yeah,
It's a dude playing guitar with a bucket hat.
I skipped the lives, so you can skip
all
lives.
right, okay, I guess I can skip lives. All right,
Skip
our
lives
friend
and skip
Haunting
ads.
Season, who's been
Haunting
who talks-
Season.
Go follow Haunting Season on TikTok and Instagram. He's talking about, I guess.
You can join his Discord as well.
Yeah, I'm not.
His Discord's
I got to be
popping.
more active on his Discord. So he's really cool. He was
Love
a guest on our podcast. So he talks
was?
horror
Go check
movies.
that
Really
episode
cool
out.
guy. That's an ad.
That's Alive. This is Never Thought I'd See Steve Kaufman on my FYP, a legend. Okay, that's that.
Okay.
Um, then
The
this is
silence
another-
was deafening.
Josh Levesque, who is
Oh, I
from
love him
Haunting
too.
Season. He's another
He's
horror
great.
talk person. He's talking
He's
about
the one that got me into
hunger.
Creeperama.
Really nice.
Yeah,
He's
when I
talking
first
about the
got on
hunger,
TikTok.
which I love.
When I
Great
first got on
movie.
TikTok, he was the first one that I saw with a Creeperama ad or like shirt and was talking about it. He used to talk about their stuff like all the
Like
time.
he's
He
got
still
a
does.
Megan mask up there, or Megan thing from when he went to the premiere.
Yeah,
So,
he's great. If you guys aren't following him, I highly recommend him too. He's hilarious.
This is a girl who's got a cosplay thing going on. That's pretty much it.
Oh, I like her makeup.
I do too, and I like her sweater.
Yeah, she looks like a Barbie. But like
Somebody stitching that it's incorrect to say that you're going on a Slavic ethnic cleanse. For that girl that was going viral, she's like, I'm doing an ethnic cleanse, and this guy is saying why it's inappropriate to say that.
I mean, how do they not know? Good gravy.
I think people just use words sometimes and don't really know exactly what they mean. I don't know. I'm not involved in it.
She needs
as
an
much.
ethical cleanse, is what it sounds like.
There's another ad.
Come on, that was
Um,
funny, right? Nobody?
And then there's a girl looking
My
into
one
the
dad joke.
camera with the text, me staring after my mom after she said, why are you always in your room, as if she'll ever let me go anywhere. That's upsetting.
Trauma.
Oh, Cooper. I love Cooper.
Ah, Cooper! I love him
He's-
too.
Yeah,
Movie boy
Cooper's
guy.
really cool. Movie boy guy. He's on Instagram, mostly TikTok, and he talks about all types of movies. He's a really good movie lover. If you love movies, you got to be following Movie Boy Guy.
Especially if you're into that like artistic side of film and like indie film and stuff, because he talks about a lot of real deep cuts.
Another live that is a guy playing guitar. And then here is a girl with her soundboard.
Ethical cleanse coming up in theaters this summer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So she's doing a cover of a song with her soundboard. So I think I've done more than 5. I think that's good.
Yeah, totally.
So
Our FYPs are
nothing
very
fascinating except for maybe ethical.
I think mine was like spicy book talk and pride, which is good. Yours was also about like
Horror mostly.
yeah, but you had the haunting season. You had some of our good mutuals on there. My FYP has been wild. I was really not sure what was going to pop up because I haven't been on it enough. So
No thirst trap.
like,
Sorry guys,
yeah.
they happened, but they didn't happen this
No.
time. Not thirst trap. I don't
Nope.
get thirst
Maybe-
traps. I get
Maybe we'll
get
start
thirst
doing this
edits.
every live. Every live
Well,
we'll
then
do a
eventually you're gonna get like a sexy edit of a character.
Who
and you
you
just post
are.
it.
You'll get my Brahms edits.
Do you still get the Brahms edits?
I get all of the villain edits. I get some of the grossest ones. I'm surprised none of them showed up. Like,
Oh my god, can I tell you about a TikTok that came across my FYP and I'm so ashamed of
yes,
it? I'm not into
Yeah.
it. I'm not into it. I want to clarify that.
right. The FYP
I'm
thought you
not.
might be.
No. So I think it just has pegged me and my emotional issues. That's all.
It's
Um,
oh yeah, okay. Great choice of
okay.
words. I appreciate it.
So it was this young woman, early 20s, I
Mhm.
hope, at least.
I hope.
She was saying, "Oh yeah, the billionaires that died, who cares?" And then she showed a picture of the guy that owned Ocean Gate and to a Lana Del Rey song, implying that she thinks he's hot. And he's like in his 50s and she's like 20, and I'm like, "No, please. Please, I'm not that damaged."
your FYP is like, you like
Daddy
old
issues,
guys.
Emma? I do like old guys, okay? Shut up.
She likes old guys. Friends? Like, so good.
That was so shameful. I felt so ashamed of myself.
Oh, I got a lot of dark humor on my FYP
No
about Ocean Gate.
billionaires allowed.
Mine
I'm
was
just gonna say that. No
mine was
billionaires
nothing
allowed.
but dark humor or people talking about like Ocean Gate, like playing an Ocean Gate video that's specifically covering
Oh, I had a
that.
lot of
But
dark
then
humor too.
instead actually talking about the migrants who died and drowned, and I got a lot of that too.
I got a
Like
lot of
people
like the Titanic still claiming lives 111 years
yeah,
later. Woo!
yeah.
I got that was mostly it, but the other one stuck out because it was different than all the dark humor stuff and other people explaining. Well, we got to ask the further question: why is there little empathy for billionaires and the how being a billionaire in itself and without going into politics so much is not ethical. So I would never date a billionaire. Never. It's too much.
Mhm.
Too much
I
effort
would, and
that are
then
not
steal
good.
all his money and redistribute it.
I'm not
So
smart
watch
enough to know
out,
how to do that.
billionaires! I'm coming for you. I'm just kidding. So
They're
I
so obsessed with tubes, they'll take care of themselves. I mean,
tubes, yeah. The next thing you know, they're gonna be talking about tube socks and tube worms, and there's gonna be all sorts of tubery going on.
oh, that Pessimisty
What's our
says,
next
"What are
question?
sharks' favorite burgers?" Five Guys.
I love it. Living. Okay. One more question and then I got to skedaddle. This is so fun though.
Do we want to talk about Tarantino's next movie, horror cartoons we recommend? Do we want to show them? Okay, this is another dare, daring us to show our 2023 letterbox stats on screen.
Okay, I can do that. I'd prefer that than talking about Tarantino again. I'm
He always comes up. I
I
talked about him
am
the other day.
not into Tarantino, guys, if you haven't figured that out yet.
I like his movies.
2023 stats. I gotta figure out where to. Oh, there it is. Stats. Go figure.
I looked at mine and it's going to be slightly revealing and I don't have to explain myself. I'm just gonna say
I'm
that.
not nearly as good at logging things as
No,
Emma.
you're
I've been
not.
really trying hard lately to make sure to log everything
I
I
log
watch
everything.
and to put a little bit in there, like still love it. Watched it for the millionth time, even if it's a movie I've seen a million times.
I
Or just putting
obsessively
like a
log
movie line in
everything.
the review and that's it. Like,
I don't write movie
okay.
reviews.
I
Show
will
us your.
let's see. Present.
Are you afraid?
Screen.
Show us your. They did not say that in the question. I'm just making goof. They just said, and they didn't even say dare. They just said, show us your 2023.
Okay,
You're
so
up
I am
early.
just enough on
You
Letterboxd
gotta
as
put it
well.
to 2023.
Oh, how do I do that?
See, it says a life in film. There's a little arrow.
Oh.
I'm obsessively on Letterboxd, even though I don't write a lot of reviews. It's like my favorite social media.
Okay, there we go. 2023. So see, like this is not
Oh my
even
god!
close
Oh
to how
my
many
god! Mine is
movies
gonna be so
I've
embarrassing
actually
already.
watched. That's what's crazy. I've watched so many more than that. Okay, so Scream 6 and Evil Dead Rise were my top logged ones. Operation Fortune, I had a blast watching. I wish more people would talk about that one. That one was a good time. The Pope's Exorcist was surprisingly solid. I thought 65 was better than a lot of people gave it credit for.
I haven't seen it.
Whatever. This one was really interesting. The Kara Robinson story. I'm not typically a big fan of true crime, but this actress is really good, and I'm going to start following her films to see where she takes it because she was in Euphoria as well, and she's been in a couple films like this. Anywho, I watched a lot more movies. See, this month I logged more.
You
I did
have
not
more
watch
logged than me,
more.
Optimisty.
I logged more.
If I log everything, I have a problem.
I did watch Pray for the Devil this year right away.
First film, and your last film was Invasion?
Yep, I did just watch the episode. I'm going to update this review every episode. So if you guys are interested in the Marvel talk, yeah, follow me on Letterboxd. I probably won't talk too much. I can and talk about it more in Discord. I mean, there's nothing stopping us, but it will pop up on my Letterboxd. So if you guys want to talk MCU as I watch this, I'm happy to talk about the MCU. While you guys talk about like wrestling or Star Trek. I can talk about Marvel. Most watched. This is a lie. I've watched this probably 12 times
Well, you don't
already.
log enough. Mine
I
is going
don't
to
log it
be-
every time because my daughter is obsessed with this movie and we watch it all the time. If I
Understandable,
logged it
yeah.
every single time, our feed would just be plugged with me watching Scream 6 over and over and over again. Oh, look, big surprise. 30 films in horror.
Mine looks
I
very
would-
similar.
Yeah. What did I watch in Japan? Parasite? What was this? What was
Parasite's
this?
Korean.
Knock at the Cabin is Japan?
Well, the funny thing is, it gets mixed up because some things are internationally produced, so it gets mixed up to
Interesting.
what country they actually belong to.
Yeah, I don't know where some of these are, what those would be. But oh, vampires, blood, undead, horror, or cool. Yeah, that describes my taste in film perfectly. Like,
And
that's
then
exactly
scary, bloody, campy on the nano genres.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, there's even more than this. Like, this is Skeet Ulrich. Okay. What an interesting. What? Who is that?
I don't know. Click on her. I recognize Cabin in the
Cabin in the
Woods, Even Lambs Have
Woods.
Teeth, and The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Who was she in Cabin in the Woods? I don't know who that is.
I recognize her face.
I don't know. I don't know who this is either. Jennifer's Body and the Exorcism of Emily Rose. I have no idea. Patrick Gilmore. Okay.
Well, Cabin in the Woods has a lot of people in the.
It does. It does. A lot of people wanted to be a part of that film, and they were just like zombies too. They were credited. Olivia Colman. She was in Secret Invasion. I love Olivia Colman. I get excited whenever I see her in anything. What else did I watch that had been? Oh, Vertical Limit. That's right. Vertical Limit, baby. Oh, and I watched Hot Fuzz. Yeah, that makes sense. Robin Tooney was in a lot of movies I watched. What's not on here? End of Days. I guess I didn't log. I thought I did, but I guess not.
She was just in The Bear, apparently. Pessimisty says that show.
Olivia Colman or Robin Tooney?
Robin Tooney, I believe. But yet, let us know if
Ooh.
I'm wrong. Pessimisty.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know what else you guys want to see on
I'll
here.
go to see more. There's it shows you the map. I love the map.
This. The
Yeah,
map?
yeah, it'll show you. It should show you a map. Where's the map? Go down, Justine. Go down.
Up.
No,
Okay.
down.
Okay.
Where's the map? I always love looking at my maps. It's like a map of the world, kind of. But go down, go down, go down.
Your map of the
Your highs
world.
and lows, okay? Highs and lows. Your highest rated, higher than average rated.
That's funny.
Yeah. I'm honored.
Lower than
As if I
lower
made
than
it.
average. I was not happy with this, so that's not surprising. Most popular. Okay, the menu. She Came from the Woods. Most obscure. I don't think this will last on the most obscure for very long. I feel like a lot of people are talking about that movie right now, but maybe that's just my bubble. Your
What's
most
your
liked
map,
list
Justine?
was my Cosmic Horror Movie Marathon list. There's 26 films in this list. If you guys are a fan of Cosmic Horror, check it out right here. Lots of them on there. This was my most liked review. Yes. Oh man, yes. Yes. Real good stuff. Rated higher than average. Yeah, these all make sense. Rated lower than average.
Phantom of the Paradise is a masterpiece.
What? Well, this is in comparison to the other two. It's a 5-star film to me. I can't. It's tough for me to rate movies like that where I think of them all together. Like the Scream films, I'm always going to think of all of the Scream films together, not just like one. And I will always compare it to the other. So I will rank them and rate them accordingly. All of the Scream films are 5-star films to me, but I won't rate them all 5 stars because I want people to know which one I like the most.
That you're
Like,
not just liking them across the board because they're Scream.
right.
It's like a legitimate opinion.
Films watched. Here's all the films I watched that I logged. Again, that I logged.
No,
I
there's
love
your
this
map. Your map is
movie.
going to be below.
Oh,
There we go. There's your map. I love the map. And then you can
whoop.
click on the countries, and then it'll show you what. I don't know why Alaska's included with America as it should be.
Yeah,
For
it
some
is.
reason, I thought they made it separate. But that's what I love doing. And sometimes I'll click on a place in the map I haven't seen a movie for the year because I'm obsessed with this stupid. And I'll just watch a movie from there.
Oh,
It's
you want to just
fantastic.
fill your map? Is that what you try to do?
I try my
That sounds
best.
so fun. Should
Because
we
if you
do
click on the
that?
like any country, yeah, we should. If you click on any country, it'll show you all the films that it has on Letterboxd for it.
Y'all, should we do that? Should we try to do like cover
Not
a
all of them
film in
have
every
horror, because I
country?
usually then I'll filter it and see what horror movies they have, and not every
Yeah, but if they
country
don't
has
have horror, they might have thriller.
drama.
In shadows in the
That's why I
mountains.
love the
Ah,
map.
it's
So if you,
bleeding! Oh, you
what?
can't see it.
What? Your eyes bleeding? Oh, yeah.
That is so cool. I don't get on the desktop with much with this. I'm usually on my phone. It doesn't do that.
So there's 3
let's-
movies to pick from for Iceland. 3 horror films.
When the darkness comes and whatever that says.
Not rated well, but I'll watch anything.
This one. Huh.
It's got a guy with a crossbow. How bad can it be?
Yeah. Okay, so I kind of want to do this.
I think we should.
I want
We
to see
wanna
what it
start
says
next year?
for thriller. Do we want to? I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, we could start our year at any point, I guess.
That's true.
What does the chat think? What do you guys think? Take over the world. I think it'd be really interesting to like try to tackle films from all over the world in the horror genre or thriller category and see how many, like, we could pick a couple countries an episode that fit into the category.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be fun.
It could be hard. We could be making things very difficult for ourselves.
We could,
But I
but
think
we're
we
just
could
gonna try our best.
How
you
many
know?
different countries are listed on here?
I don't know.
Huh. Oh my gosh. It'd be interesting to see if we could fill our map.
Or how close we can come to filling it.
Yeah. Guatemala. Oh, I heard this one was really good.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
Yeah,
It
I
is
heard
good.
this one was
There's
good.
an American version that's not the same movie, but it has the same title. Not
Yeah.
as good, but that one's actually good. It's kind of interestingly adds the first lady of Mexico, who had the first child born from the people that are originally from that area, and the Spanish, and it kind of adds into how it created the whole myth. It's very interesting, actually.
This is so fun. Ah! This is going to be out of control. We can do it.
We can.
I think we can do it. Russia.
I don't think I've looked at my map for the year. I usually look at my general map.
Yeah, you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm fine with
Well,
it.
I've seen a lot of these Russian ones. I like just watched Darkest Hour the other day. I've seen Sputnik.
But you haven't logged it.
I have not logged it. I should, now that I know of this little mappy map,
It's one of my
I
favorite
will
parts of
be a lot
Letterboxd.
better about logging now. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. You can share yours if you'd like,
Oh,
or
how
you
do-
want me to
oh.
go to your. You just go down
How
at the bottom and you'll see the option to present, I think is what it says.
Then share
Click
screen.
on, yep, and then click on Chrome tab or whatever tab you have open to your letterbox. Whatever.
Share screen. Oh, I
I have it open already because I was looking at it. I was looking at my
Yeah,
map.
so go to the Chrome tab. Oh, okay.
Okay, that's my map. Oop, for
Ooh, ooh.
2023. Let's go all the way up here. I'll show my
Oh
shame.
my. Wow.
I don't know why I didn't put other things here. I just watched Cinnamon today. Highly recommend it. It was good. In Asteroid City.
Why
highly
didn't
recommend
it put more there?
I don't know. Like I
That
definitely
seems
rated other
rude.
things 4 to 5 or 3. Like
Maybe.
maybe they're just lazy with me and my constant logging in of things. Here are my milestones. My 50th was Idle Hands. My 100th was The Mafu Cage. Caligula was my 150th, and Boxing Helena, starring Julian Sands, was
I love Idle
200th, and
Hands.
then 250th was the second time I watched Paul Newman Judge.
Return of the Living Dead 3.
I watched that today. I love that movie. I've watched Phantom of the Paradise 4 times this year.
Whoa.
So there's that. I have watched Black Phone more than that, but I knew you guys might tease me, so I didn't log it. I think I've seen it 3 or 4 times.
That's great.
So that's the only time I might have. One of the only times. Let's see. Horror, gory, scary, killing, or gruesome. And then scary, violence, cool. Then it gets horror to sexy. But I do have moving relationship stories as in between sex, sexuality, disturbed, unconventional, or challenging. Then moving relationship stories, and then crime, drugs, and gangsters.
Nice.
Oh my god. I don't want to hear it.
what's
I don't want to hear it. I
Ethan
don't.
Hawke and Paul Newman. Vincent Price. There he is. I was waiting for him.
There is I was on a Kathleen Turner binge.
Julie Delpy.
What? Oh yeah, because I watched all of the Before trilogy with Ethan Hawke and
With
Julie.
Ethan Hawke.
And then she was also in 3 Colors Red that I watched recently. Liv Schreiber, who was in Asteroid City. And my thing is very affected by our podcast because I log everything. And that's what I'm glad that Courtney Cox and Robert Englund is in it. What?
I love
you're a
Liv
Liv
Schreiber.
Schreiber fan. And Bruce Campbell, because we did our Evil Dead and Scream series franchise breakdowns. Kathleen Turner, I love her in films. You're not very smart, are you? I like that. Brian De Palma, of course. I have a bias. Wes Craven, Robert Altman, David DeCoteau.
Did I even look at my?
I don't know. We can go
my
back.
director?
Who is the 1313 director? He also did, Sorority Babes and the Slime Bolorama. He also did A Talking Cat! ! Question mark, all that. Lars von Trier, Ethan Hawke directed.
Lars von Trier.
My
directors are
most
on
liked
here.
review is The Skipper to Malignant's Barbie. Most obscure is a documentary about a very specific Swedish film director. My most popular is the same as yours with The Menu. I have rated Encino Man, Hellbender, and Black Phone, and Evil Dead. All these higher than the average, lower than the average. I hated The Whale. Before Sunset is okay. So I rated the other 2, the first and the third, 5 stars. Before Sunset, I liked, but I'm not gonna get into it. You guys don't know. Raising Cain, which is Brian De Palma and John Lithgow, who I love, but just wasn't my favorite. Then all these movies that I watched, blah blah blah. My World Mepe.
I don't know where my director's list is. Mine doesn't show
up. It should be under your most watched. Maybe you haven't logged directors enough. Because if you look at mine, it's stars and then director.
Yeah, mine doesn't have a section for directors.
What did he direct? Oh, Necromant. Okay. that makes sense. Okay. How do I get out of sharing my screen?
At the very top, there should be something that says like stop share.
Oh, there we go. Okay. That
was fun. I like that. It was a little, I don't know, you guys. We're not that surprising.
I don't know what you expected. Like
That's
Okay.
exactly what I expected from my letterbox. That's exactly what I expected from your letterbox.
I gotta be honest. I didn't expect it. I didn't count that I had watched 15 films starring the same person. But you know what the thing is, it does also is it counts over again with the directors and the stars if you rewatch something. So I watched The Black Phone twice, so it's gonna count that as 2. So there's that too.
Is that how that works?
It does, I know, because I'm on Letterboxd all the time because I'm obsessed with it, especially the map. My 2023 map isn't very big, and I don't like that, so I gotta do some fixing there. That's what I've been trying to. I've actually been working on my map. That's what I've been doing on our break, because sometimes when we are doing the specific episodes that we do, um, like our
choices
franchise
get smaller.
breakdowns, yeah, smaller. But we can be more aware of our world map with our episodes, because
I
I
like
love
that.
watching lore of a different community, people, places.
Oh, yeah, it's fun to get exposed to different culture art. So I think that'd be really fun.
It would
We
be
should
fun.
try. We should try to like see if we can like just a side quest, you know? Like we'll continue to do our normal stuff, but we'll like side quest try to like see if we can find a movie that fits the category or whatever the theme that is in another country. Like throw one in there.
Okay, so Pessimisty mentioned again, which they mentioned. So I tried to find Killing Zoe, and I don't believe it's streaming. And then I looked on YouTube. So is it worth buying the disc? Will I like it? So which has Julie Depley in it.
Mm,
But yeah, I want to watch more Kathleen Turner too. There's just something about her.
yeah, I just see it for rent or buy on Vudu and Amazon.
Oh, you can rent it? Oh, I rent it. For some reason I guess I didn't look hard enough. I don't know.
Says
Maybe
you
I
can
didn't.
rent it on Vudu.
Oh, I don't do voodoo that often, but I can do it. I can do it. But yeah, Encino Man hype. Crystal and Justina, I know you're an Encino Man fan too, but Crystal,
Yeah.
I think I've always think of Crystal now with Encino Man.
Yeah. All right, you guys. We're gonna have to ask our heads of lettuce in Discord if how they would suggest or like to see us tackle the world map. And then don't forget you guys have Misty movie night this Sunday.
I'm
At what
gonna
time?
change it from, I think I said 8:30 originally, but I'm gonna start at 8. But I will
8.
keep you guys updated because it seems pretty much at this point in time most people that are interested in our Mystery Science Theater night viewing together, it is in the evening on the weekends, and so I feel like
All
I have to
right.
be responsible, Justine,
Mm.
because we watched a Mike episode last time, so I feel like it's only right that we watch a Joel episode next. So
I don't know what that means.
oh, and Crow's here.
So if you guys want to stay on top of little events like that, make sure you're joining our Discord if you haven't already. Following our Instagram, both the Let Us In podcast Instagram, Emma's, mine, and Crystal's individual Instagrams. I think we're more active on our individual Instagrams on getting the word out because that's where most of our followers live and get info from us. So that's why I recommend just following all of them.
And you can DM us. We're not shy. It's fine.
We're not shy. You can DM us anywhere. You could also
Just wear a
like I
shirt.
said, join that Discord. The Discord is like the best. I love our Discord. I love seeing all the news that you guys give us and like information about films that I don't know about. I'm pretty sure that's why I watched even Lambs Have Teeth because someone mentioned it in a Discord. So Discord's pretty sweet like that.
I turned off my air conditioning for the thing, and I'm getting hot. I need to
Cool off.
I need to cool
Hey,
off.
thanks to our heads of lettuce for joining us. You guys are awesome. We appreciate your support.
We
I'm
do.
gonna try to
Are we
get some
gonna
episodes
be
out
live
on the
next week?
no,
Okay.
because it's 4th of July.
Oh, I do nothing for the 4th of July.
I'm
my world map.
I'm hosting for the 4th of July, so
Mm,
I can't guarantee that I'll be available.
That's fine.
I think it's the 3rd. Isn't that Tuesday? Wait, is today Tuesday? So it'd be Monday. What is that? The
Monday.
3rd?
Don't worry about
2nd.
it. We'll be fine.
I will try to work on some of our episodes this weekend, though, so we can start putting those back out.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And with 4th of July, I think even our heads of lettuce might be busy watching
Yeah.
fireworks. Not everyone's like me and just like a troll, that not a troll. That sounds a goblin.
Goblin. I'm a gremlin.
I haven't watched a movie from Dubai yet this year.
I love it.
That's all I ever do.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm sorry I'm like so I don't know. I want us back on schedule soon.
Well,
It'll be so nice.
when sometimes when you cycle and that sorts of stuff, you have low serotonin.
That's fact.
That's a fact. The more we can teach you, the better.
Being a woman.
I'm happy that I
really
taught you about the map. I'm like
I'm
I'm going to be on
excited,
a high
yes.
for like the rest of the night. Like not everyone knew about the map, and I taught them about the map on Letterboxd. So I'm happy.
I'm a nugget of information.
I'm not, but there's certain things I know.
Our
Thank
pleasure.
you, everyone.
Our pleasure. Thank
We'll
you
be in
guys.
touch in the Discord after next week. I think we'll probably be live, and we'll let you know.
Yeah.
We'll be around.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. Oh,
Happy birthday to me.
wait. Real quick. So it maybe
Real
reminded me. I watched Crimes of Passion, which is a Ken Russell film. I need to watch more Ken Russell films. I gotta watch Gothic, which is on Tubi, directed by Ken Russell. But anyway, so I don't have somebody to do it with me, but a great couples costume I recommend for somebody to steal is if you're a Ken Russell fan or a Kathleen Turner fan, or if you're a fan of Anthony Perkins, is Liberty Bell and Anthony Perkins' character, also from Crimes of Passion. Would be a great couples costume. Maybe not everyone would get it, but isn't that kind of cool? Because then you get to talk about Ken Russell.
Very cool. I'd be the chick from The Lair of the White Worm.
Ooh, that's great. You should do that this year.
With like the black latex and stuff. And just put like a basket lid on top of my head. Nobody would get it.
I love that though.
Why do you look like a dominatrix with a basket lid on your head?
That's a sexy movie.
It's a very sexy movie. I'm actually going to be Ursula. My daughter already told me. It's her choice.
Oh, that's wonderful.
She's the boss.
Adorable.
She's the boss. All right, y'all. It was so much fun to get on live again. Lots of giggles as usual. Emma asking me real hard-hitting questions this time.
Okay. Oh, Kevin, this is our relaxed fit. You should join us when we do our regular episodes. There'll be even more information and me film broing.
Yeah, this is literally just us getting on to connect with y'all and connect with each other.
So this is not our proper. It's
not a proper episode, but it is our show.
A mutual of ours who I highly respect, she once told me, she's like, "Oh, I really love that clip you did. You did a really good film bro impression." I'm like, I didn't have the heart to tell her it wasn't an impression. It was just me talking.
Our resident film bro came out. That is your
really
goblin.
Genius. Well, actually,
and that's probably why we talk about Tarantino as much as we do.
Well, actually, if you see that he's starting to make critique on his own career and is starting with Once Upon a Time in America, and do you think he's gonna make more meta commentary on himself with The Critic?
I don't know. I usually don't do this when I usually just sound annoying. Well, actually,
I'm not gonna lie, you made your mic look a little cradled.
Why not? I'm for it.
You're full of double entendres tonight. It's been
Am I? What else did I say?
Oh, I don't know. Something about your FYP has you pegged. You love the whole
Innocent. I'm an innocent here. I'm an innocent. I don't do anything wrong. I'm an innocent.
Right.
I don't know what that means. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night. Goodbye.